Hello guys, my name is Muhammad Aiman and I'm here with my friend Zaki Nazran, and today I'm going to present and explain what is HTML, the backbone of the web. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, the birth of HTML, Tim Berners-Lee's vision. Tim Berners-Lee proposes a revolutionary hypertext system to efficiently share research documents at CERN, or the European Organization for Nuclear Research, laying the groundwork for modern web communications. Okay, and then the 1990s. Tim Berners-Lee creates HTML, develops the first web browser, which is the World Wide Web, and builds the server software essential and inventing the entire web ecosystem. Foundation. HTML was thoughtfully designed to structure and link documents on the emerging World Wide Web. So it's like in the stages, the first stages of the foundation of the World Wide Web, and enabling seamless information sharing across networks. Okay, HTML defined, hypertext markup language. What is this HTML? Now, HTML is a standard markup language for creating web pages. People sometimes get confused that HTML is a programming language, but they're wrong. It's a hypertext markup language, or more specifically a markup language, because it's overall a little more simpler than like programming languages like Python, PHP, and C++. It's way more simple. Okay, I would continue. It defines the structure and semantic content of web pages using a system of tags that browsers understand and interpret. How it works: browsers reads HTML files and renders them into visible interactive pages that users see on their screens. It's the fundamental language that every website is written in. From simple documents to the web, the first pages were elegantly simple, pure text and hyperlinks. This minimalist foundation proved powerful enough to revolutionize how information is shared globally. Okay, now my friend Zaki Nazran will continue the presentation and explaining the tags of HTML. Okay, Zaki?
Okay.
The time is yours.
Okay. The anatomy of HTML. Element and tags. The opening tag. P mark the beginning of the element. Content, the text or data between the opening and closing tag. The closing tag is to mark the end of an element. Example: P hello world. Empty element like image for image, or input form for form don't require closing tags. They are self-contained.
Okay, this is the next slide.
The essential HTML tags you need to know. Document structure. The tag define the overall layout and foundational element of the HTML document. The HTML is the root element of an HTML page. The height content is to contain meta information about the HTML document, like the page title and link to style sheet. Body tag contain all the visible content of the web page. Title set the title that appears in the browser tab or window. Like this,
Ini basic structure.
the basic structure of HTML. There's a document doc type HTML, HTML head, title, body, and everything inside. Text formatting. These tags are used to structure and style text content within your page. H1 to H6. This is the heading elements, with the H1 being the most important and H6 less. P text is defined as a paragraph of text. Strong is indicates strong important, typically written as the bold text. M text is indicates emphasis text, typically rendered and italic text. BR is to insert a single line break. You can see the code. The first code is H1. This means a main title, and below it have a P text. This is a normal paragraph. P is the for paragraph, and then the strong. Strong is make so your text is more important, and the
Emphasize
text is to make italic text, and BR to make a single line break, to make a new line. Now we go to the list. List is organized content into ordered or underlined lists, like UL. UL is defined an ordered list. You make like bullet list. It's not like number. And OL is defined an ordered list. Is to make a list with number or something. Li is defined at list item within under nested by well or all, like this code. This UL is Li is nested by UL is make a bullet list, and OL is Li is nested by UL is to make a numbered list. Now we go to link and media, essential for navigation and embedded visual content. We go to A text. Is define a hyperlink used to link to other web page, file, or location within the same page. EMG is embedded an image to the document, requires search and ILT. This alternative text attribute, like this code is a help https for example.com www.example.com to visit example another. A is for to
Anchor.
anchor.
It's an anchor to attach. What Zaki was trying to say is the anchor is to attach a hyperlink inside your programming or inside your web page. Like for example, href, it's like source in the image below. So it attaches the link when you click on the button, which is visit example.com. This one, there's going to be a text that shows visit example.com. When you press it, it will redirect you to that website. So, and then there's going to be image. So source is like same as the href, but you could add any type of link, or you could also add an embedded or saved image in your folder. Like for example, the image.jpg JPEG. So the file must be inside the folder. And for the alternative text, like for example, you're using like a photo from this link from www.example.com, but there's no internet, it will show the alternative text. Okay, Zaki, the time is yours. Show them and explain them tables.
Okay, table. Table is used to display tabular data in rows and columns. Table text is defined in HTML table. TR. TR text is defined a table row. It's make a table is row. TH. Right?
TH, yeah.
TH is defined a header cell in a table, usually bold and centered. TD is defined as standard data cell in a table, and like this code. There are table TR, TH, and TD.
Okay.
Okay.
And the last one
Next
is form.
Form is enable user to interaction and data submission. Form text is defined an HTML form for user to input the data. Input. Define input field. The type attribute specifies the input type, like text, email, password, or submitting. Button. Button is defined a clickable button. Like this. The form code. The form is action for submit, and there is label to make like a name. There is the input. The input text is make you can input the data for the website. And there is button. Button the type is submit. This button is do when for you submitting the data in the form.
Okay, next next slide. Structuring context with HTML. Sorry. Let me do that again. Structuring content with HTML. Heading. Use H1 through H6 to organize page titles and sections. Hierarchy. So it's using a hierarchy. Like H1 is the most important. Like I said, like Zaki explained before, H1 is the biggest one, header 1, and the smallest one is header 6. So it's using a hierarchy system. And then there's paragraphs. The P tag holds blocks of text content that maintains readability. So it's like a basic paragraph, not as important as the headers, but it's to just show text. And then there's lists, just like Zaki explained before. There's UL and OL. To create bullet lists or numbered lists. And then there's links. The A or anchor tag is to connect pages across the entire web. So you could go click on a link and it will redirect you. So it's like a hyperlink system. Okay, I'm gonna explain the HTML's role in the web developing ecosystem. Now there's two other codes that you actually need to learn to make a proper website, because it's more professional, but we're just gonna explain HTML, but I'll just show you the others, just like CSS. CSS is also a markup language, not a programming language. So it's like the skin for styling and layout that makes the pages look beautiful and visually compelling, or like appealing to the customer or the target audience. So, and then there's also JavaScript. It's like a programming language, not like CSS and HTML, because JavaScript is more complex, but it's for interactivity and dynamic behavior that brings pages to life. So it's like the nervous system. So you could like click on a button and it will show an animation. That's JavaScript. It's a little more complex, but if you understand, your website will look very, very cool. And then lastly, there's HTML. HTML is the backbone or the skeleton of the web page or website. Structure and content that forms the foundation of every website. If there's no HTML, you also can't make a website. Although we don't use CSS and JavaScript, your website will still show, but it will look very ugly. Okay, I will go to the next slide. Okay, how web pages come alive. See, like I said before, this is the HTML skeleton, the CSS styling, and the JavaScript behavior. So the most important one is this, the HTML. The others are not too important, but if you want to do like a very professional website, I recommend you add CSS and JavaScript. Okay, next slide. Okay, why we learn HTML? Your gateway to web creation. So, universal foundation. Every website you visit is built on HTML. Understanding it gives you insight into how the entire web works. Essential skills. HTML is the fundamental requirement for web design, development, and modern digital communication across all industries. Perfect starting point. HTML is simple to start learning, yet powerful enough to build a complex, interactive, and professional grade websites. Limitless potential. Begin your journey today to create the web and digital experience you imagine. Your skills will open doors to creativity and innovation. Well, that's all for us. My name is Muhammad Aiman,
My name is Zaki Nazran.
and we say thank you for listening to our presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wabarakatuh.